The start of this, and then we can handle questions afterwards. Okay, do you mind if I take my mask off? Otherwise you can't hear.
Don't mind.
So can I quickly say hello to everyone? Hi guys, my name is Michael Hammond. I'm the guy who owns the little shop around the corner. So welcome and thank you for supporting and joining and participating. Ernst is like a kind of a legend with Propolis, and he does the tincture for us as well and the creams. So I wish you all the best, enjoy it. It's fun, it's easy, and when you're done you're going to be like, jeepers, that was like actually done. Easy to do. So enjoy, and then we're going to do a tasting with Supply. She's coming later. She'll join us for the tasting. Cool. Right. Cool.
Okay. The first thing you're going to do is clean the propolis. What I use with this propolis, because I'm using a blender to blend the propolis, which you most of all found that it didn't work. Okay. You take the propolis that comes from the frames. Okay. You put some in a container. And please don't squeeze it together, because you've got to break it loose, and if you want to break it loose again, you've got to refrigerate it overnight and then heat it with a hammer, and then this next morning it would take you like 3 days to get the propolis clean. Here you can clean the propolis within half an hour if you do it this way. I'm not going to do all.
How do you get it that fine?
If you scrape it through from the frames, not at the entrances and where the frames are built onto the box. Those clots, you don't use that to do it this way. Okay.
Do you mind if I take photographs?
You're welcome. As long as you share it with somebody. It's tap water, but the colder the better. Okay?
And how much water do you add?
Doesn't matter. I'll cook like your mum, by feeling, not by little spoons and stuff. I just get a feeling and then I do it that way. Okay, now what's the difference? Because it's in cold water, the propolis can't melt around the axle of your blender, so it doesn't burn your blender. Okay. Just beat it until it's a powder. Okay. See there, you've already got some of the sticks and pieces of wood. Say again?
The wax must spread.
You just take the wax moss out, but it's protein. I mean, why do you complain? Okay, now I'm going to leave it for the propolis to settle at the bottom. Okay. Okay. I'm going to the next part. Okay, I'll finish that after about 15 minutes. Okay. You won't see it dry there, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's dry. That's what you've got. Much better to work with when you're making a tincture. Okay. if you take it,
Is dit nou van hier af?
as hy hier droog is, dan lyk hy so. When it's dry here, it looks like that. Okay. But
you don't have
even
to
these
make it
ones are loose.
finer.
If you do that, it still
Get it finer.
Still breaks up more.
breaks up more. Okay. Yes.
So hoe al hierdie water
I-
uit daai uit, Ernst?
Say again.
Hoe al hierdie water uit daai uit?
Ek gooi it up, but the water, if you do a lot, you don't have to throw the water away. Okay. It's good for gargling with and to even drink if you throw it through a filter again. Okay. And what I found was somebody who had very smelly feet, and that is normally caused by a fungus or something in the foot. If you bathe your feet in that, it's gone. Okay. It sorts out the fungus. Okay. Okay, so you'll get it like that. Okay, now I'm going to make you this. These are the bottles that I use. Okay. I take the olive oil bottles that I use to make oil. I clean it up, and I make the propolis in there because you've got to store your propolis in a dark place. Light destroys it. Takes a bit of time. Doesn't destroy too fast, but it is destructive on propolis. Okay, so you keep it in an amber type of bottle or a darker bottle. Because the two things destroying things is light and light. Okay. So what I do with this, if you want to make a 20% propolis, then the weight should be 20% of the alcohol that you use. If you want to make it 25%, it should be 25. You weigh it off like that. Okay. It's not too difficult to fill this bottle.
Can you clarify that percentages? Because I see most of them are 30%. That looks like that's the preferred one. So 30% of your alcohol.
25% is strong enough. You know, if you take alloy as well, to make it stronger doesn't necessarily add value to it. Okay, so 20% is fine.
But 20% of what is your alcohol? So are you going to give us later on a recipe to say, like the last time I used 400 grams of propolis for, I think, 800 mils of alcohol.
Yes, I'll do that. Okay, I'm just going to make a little bit, but I can actually show you this. You just take that with your hand, like that, and fill your bottle. We're up to where you want to fill it. Now I'll show you one that I made. It's already done. Can you see where the propolis is? It's about up to there, on a liter bottle. Okay, can you see it?
What's that? 15%. 10%.
It's about 15 to 20%. But because you put it in a powder, it takes up more of the propolis out of the stuff. If you normally make propolis like that, you will find that you can reuse it. If you do a powder on it, it's much better. Now, if you've got it into this bottle and you leave it there, and the third or the fourth or the fifth day, the time is not that important as long as you leave it 3 days and longer. Then you throw it into, and what I normally use is I just cut off a Coke bottle like that. Pour it in there, put the blender on it again. Put it back into the bottle. Now I've read in Google that if you leave it for longer than 14 days, you don't actually add value to it. I found it different specifically with the oil. What I do, I leave it, after 3 days I blend it, then when I remember I'll shake it a bit. After 14 days, I will leave it for another 2 weeks. And then you find that your propolis oil also comes out darker. Okay, so the longer the better. Okay, and it can't go bad like that. You can store it like that. Okay, so this is what we got. Then, how do you clean that? How do you get it ready to...
So sorry, so you put the propolis in and then what did you fill the bottle with?
Okay, sorry. 70 to 75% alcohol. Okay, you can taste it if you want to.
You do a higher percentage of alcohol than that.
Say again?
You do a higher percentage of alcohol than that.
Not if you're going to use it orally, then it becomes poison. Okay. Zie zelf wat jy eet.
of your beer signals.
Says what? That's it. If you take a Propolis, well, I think it's a Propolis.
To be honest, I also think that 30% that they put on the job, on the labels and stuff, it's also like kind of like a marketing thing, because you know, if you look at this, like that's probably like a 10-15%. But if you test it on your skin, you'll see like
Okay,
a
use
big
the
layer of
Propolis and can you
propolis
see
on
what
your
it's
skin.
got?
So I mean, you know, how much more do you need? You
I'm
want
trying
be
to. It's
painted with
green.
propolis, you know, like
There.
It is.
so that stuff is like potent.
To be honest,
Okay.
Yeah.
Googled the life out of
Yes,
and I
yeah.
found a recipe for 30%.
Yeah.
If you can use ethanol that you buy in the chemist, you will most probably pay about 750 rand. Sorry, for a 750 milliliter bottle, you will most probably pay about 150 rand. What I'm using is Vitblitz. It's edible, so it's fine. I checked it with the chemist. Okay, it's fine to spray in your throat and stuff. Plus, it's costing you about between 80 and 100 rand for a liter. That's the difference. Okay, but you have to find somebody who distills the stuff for you. Okay, and who understands distilling. Okay. Okay, after it's been in the alcohol for a week, for 14 days plus, okay, take a coffee filter, put it in there. And you can look at the color. Don't need more than that. You agree? Okay, let it run through, then we'll continue with this one. Okay, I'm going back to this. You can leave it longer. The more you leave it, the more propolis goes down to the bottom. Okay. Just going to rinse it once more.
Staan er nie baie van die propolis in die water wat jy afsien. Borstel nie. So jy moet hom eintlik langer laat staan en dan
You can. You can leave it longer. They say you can leave it up to 2 hours, but the longer you leave it in water, because you also can the more propolis goes into the water.
I could also make a sort of a separator where you've got a funnel down with the
Yeah, you can.
How long do you leave this water and propolis mixture that you've blended up?
Leave it for 20 minutes. Okay, then you're safe, but you'll get the feeling of it as you go along making the stuff. Okay.
Sometimes when you work with essential oils and extracting that, you leave it for a couple of days. So
You can, if you use this propolis to make something else with, you can throw it through the coffee filter again. I don't do that because what I do, I buy a amber bottle with a mist spray top. And then you've got to cut it because they only sell for long bottles. Okay, just cut it just on an angle, just a bit longer than your bottle. Okay. A bond pack. You buy this from bond pack. Okay, now you can use it. Okay, now I'm gonna fill this bottle. Use a small funnel like this.
Hold it for you.
No, it's fine. Got to pour it. You can see there's nothing wrong with it. The color, it's strong enough.
How long has that been growing?
Say again?
How long has that been growing?
It's about 3 weeks. Okay. There's your bottle. It's filled. You add the top. You add your label. There he goes. You can sell it for up to 135 rand a bottle. And it's costing you about 15 rand to make it total, plus your time. Okay.
And that's good for sore throats and different things.
If you spray this in your throat, you will find that it will most probably heal your throat within half an hour. You won't get it. You don't have that scratch and that cough again. If you use the oil, you can't use this in your ear and on a baby's butt and stuff like that when the baby's got nappy rash. What you do, you use the oil, Propolis oil. You put a drop of Propolis oil in the baby's ear, okay? And a piece of cotton, or anybody's ear, yours as well. You put a piece of cotton in it, half an hour it's gone. If you burn with steam in the kitchen, you spray this on, it's like less than a minute.
How do you make Propolis oil?
Say again?
How do you make Propolis oil?
I'm coming to that.
Oh.
Okay.
Be patient,
So anybody? Anybody?
Me. Thank you.
Got it. Okay. Okay, I've got the oil. Here it is. I'm going to open it and put it on your... Look at the color. Can you see there's a lot of propolis in there? Okay, you want to take a drop and just feel it.
What is your carrier? Well,
Then you put propolis in all of it.
do you heat it?
Yeah, I'll tell you that now.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so excited. Woo!
It's too much Propolis for you.
I'll show you guys later. I have a gap on my leg. Deal.
Shame you were lost.
Your skin will most probably absorb that olive oil within half an hour. And the oil is gone. The oiliness is gone. Okay.
Ernst, did I miss the drying part of it? Because that
No, I said I've got to wait for it to settle.
Well,
so I
okay.
I
I
continued
wasn't
after
sure when I missed
after
it when I was gone.
I
So.
continued after it's in this form.
Okay.
Of course, we've got to get to this.
That's a perfect tray for it as well.
Drink it. No, I should drink it.
Okay, this is what you have. There's still water in there. Okay. Can you see the difference already? Okay. Camera. No, I'm sorry that put it on an angle. Yes, it's a tablet for a beer, if you won't believe it. Okay. You can do, in a tray like this, you can do about 3 kilos of propolis at a time. Okay. Now, what you have to do now is take out the bigger pieces, like this. Okay.
I was just thinking, if it's inside your house, don't just throw it on your carpet.
And the bees are going to come. There's bee lure.
The bees will come
Yeah, they'll rob it.
This you can just try out like this. Take the whole tray and throw it off. Okay. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing tricky about it. You just have to apply your mind when you do this. Okay, now after you've scooped up the water, what you need to do is to put it under a fan. Okay, you take a little household fan. Fan it. Now, if you take 3 kilos, you've got to leave it under the fan for about 3 days. Okay, because if there's any moisture in there, it will grow mold in the bottle of water. You don't want that. No, put your propolis in the dark. Put it in the dark room if you have it. If you don't have it, switch the light off at least. Okay, but that's what you do. The end result is this. Every day that you are busy in there, you take a putty knife or a knife tool and you turn it. You keep on stirring. Okay. The water key, knife tool is okay. All you do when you do this, you scoop it up, turn it. Okay. If you made it tonight, do it tomorrow morning, half day through, and again, the more you turn it, the more loose it becomes. Okay, if you leave it like that, you will see when you turn it tomorrow morning, it's kind of hard again. You've got to sort of loosen it. Okay. Okay, but you've got it. And just open it, because the more you open it, the quicker it dries.
Put the fan off again. Makes it affects the recording. Sorry. You can't hear what it says.
Okay, that's cleaning propolis. If you go into Google, you will find that it will most probably take you about 3 days to do that. Okay, I can't understand why somebody hasn't thought out that if you clean it in water that like this, it's much quicker to make it. Okay, so we've gone through the propolis tincture. Do we have any questions on that? And don't go and buy expensive stuff. These old cooling bottles, they work. Okay, they make nice filters. You can use a bigger coffee filter if you want to. Okay, questions on propolis tincture? You think you can do it? Somebody wants to try?
As jy 'n manier kan kry om dit fyn te maak sonder om water te gebruik.
If you find that, share it with
Let
us.
us know, yeah.
Okay, because what you take out there is a lot of pieces of wood, pieces of paint, other stuff that comes
Wax.
out if you do it this way.
And
Okay.
there's other people like I've done it with the way where you put it in the freezer and you knock it. It's never as fine as this. Never.
And you've got to put it back in the freezer and back in the freezer,
Yeah.
back in the freezer.
And
because
your
you'll
strip
find if you
becomes
put a
full of
hammer on it,
propolis.
It goes.
Your
goes
wife
soft
wants to
like-
leave you, and this is like no problem.
Okay. It's called tincture. Oil.
Yeah.
Once you try on how to make the oil, once you take it try. Try. How do you make propolis?
You can always contact us if you've got any questions and stuff like
Oh,
that.
no, you said you're using olive oil as bait, right?
Yes.
So does it just sit in the oil and
The very same way that you make tincture. No difference. Exactly the same. Except instead of alcohol, you use olive oil, and please take extra virgin olive oil. Take a good olive oil because you don't want to put a bad product out there. Look at the shelf life, because the shelf life of the tincture will be years if it's kept in the dark. Okay. If you take the oil, the shelf life is the same as on the olive oil bottle. It gives you about 2 years if you take extra virgin olive oil and it's new on the shelf.
is olive oil the only oil you can use?
You can use any oil.
So what else would you
This one,
what
as
else would you do?
if you use any oil that comes from nuts, you get allergic people. Okay, if you use any other oil, you will find that the shelf life is much less than olive oil. It's a shorter period.
Also a good one.
Sunflower oil will also work, but this I know, and olive oil is good for your skin. Okay, it's not bad. Okay.
So that's
The-
the way we sell it, is we
Yeah.
say the olive oil is good for your skin, so if you want to do it that way, or then the alcohol actually cleans a wound. So it's, you know, either way it's got two purposes, so it depends on how your customer wants to apply it. So.
This stuff removes nappy rash between two and nappies if it's in a bad state. You've got a screaming baby that doesn't sleep because it's got nappy rash. You put this on like in 5 to 10 minutes, the baby will be asleep, and if you change the nappy, you'll find it's gone. Okay, so babies, and also in the ear. You can't use alcohol in your ear. You have to use oil. Okay. The difference between this and the Propolis tincture is the filter pot. Okay. Now, if you take that bottle with olive oil and you do it exactly the same recipe, you put it in there, you blend it after 3 days, okay, and you put it back, shake it once or twice a day. If you miss 2 days, it's fine. If you remember, shake it again. But after 3 days, blend it, okay, and make it Propolis a powder in there. Then up to 14 days, you can shake it whenever you remember. You don't have to do it 3 times a day anymore, okay, and after 2 weeks, you let it stand. Just let it stand. Okay, because this helps the filtering part. You leave it for 2 to 3 weeks more. And if it stands there, you will find that the propolis has become hard in the bottle at the bottom. So you can pour the propolis off without stirring it, which makes the filter part so much easier. You take that olive oil bottle with the propolis in, or with the oil in it, okay, after you've taken off from the propolis itself, okay, and you will find in the end you will get some wax going over it. Say, don't mind, it's fine, it's better than the whole lot. Okay, you put it in a double boiler, you heat it, and then you filter it, and you will most probably need about 3 to 4 filters for a liter of propolis oil. You can leave it there with one filter, it will still work, but it's going to take you a day longer to do it. Okay. Okay, so you need to just heat it, okay, in a double boiler, and don't go above 45 degrees if you can. Okay, on the oil inside, not on the water around it. So if you heat it up quickly, it doesn't matter because it's time in heat that kills the good properties in it. Okay, and what you have, you've got this little dropper. Okay, where you can put it in an ear or whatever. Now, I used to be a fan of Propolis tincture, but I like the oil more and more. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Now you put your propolis into the olive oil
Yes,
and you let it sit.
yes,
And then you take it out and you blend it.
yes,
And you put it back.
yes.
Then you heat it.
Now you still shake it for
Okay, you
14
shake
days.
it for 14 days.
Leave it
every
for
day.
another 3 weeks, 2
Okay.
to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you throw the oil off. You leave the propolis plug at the bottom in
Yeah.
the bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the propolis will go through, but
That's
don't
fine.
shake it. Okay. You finish with the propolis. Okay. The plug in the bottom. You leave it there. Okay. Now you use the stuff that you've already poured out.
So you
That you
heat
put,
that.
you heat that, yes.
Why would
Oil
you
only.
heat that?
Because otherwise you'll take days getting it through the filter.
Oh, you heat it to filter it.
Yes.
So it's more liquid that goes through the same coffee filter.
Yes. Yes. Okay, have you got that?
Okay.
You'll be able
Is
to
there anything you can do with the propolis left on the bottom of the bottle?
do what?
The propolis left on the bottom of the olive oil bottle. Is there anything you can
The
do with it?
propolis at the bottom, the nice thing to use it for is for a lure.
Okay.
Catch bees.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, when you make a layer and you put your propolis in it, okay, you add this because the bees love the smell of alcohol. If you take like these Faljapi and sweet wines and you spray it into your bee boxes, you will catch bees. They like it. Okay. Between brackets, did you know that if bees are drunk, they're not allowed in the hive? If you like sit on your brandy and coke or something and they get alcohol in and they come to the